Greetings, I am Elijah. Greetings, children of God, for he has a message today that is important. Many of you have a hard time deciding what the will of God is and what the will of your own life is. How to make decisions to become what you need to be. How do you know that the right decision has been made when you are working with God, when you are working with the Most High? It is difficult to know what your decision really is. Let me tell you, many people find that they've come to a place of decision where it seems like a good thing to go this way and a difficult thing to go that way, but if they would have taken the difficult way, they would have been doing the right thing and not the easy thing. Now you say, why do the hard thing when an easy thing can do something similar? But does it? Understand this, my children, God says. Look at Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane as an example. When he found out what it is that God wanted him to do, and he saw the outcome in some ways, he asked that he not be able to do it. He said, "Take this cup from me. Don't let it happen." He's saying to God, don't let this happen. And there are many others through history that are saints and Muslims and Sikhs and all kinds of religions that have been faced with this very kind of thing. Don't let that happen. So God said, you don't hear what God says to Jesus, but I would imagine that he said something like, you know, you could get up and run. Or Jesus thought about that himself. I could get up and run right now, and they would never catch me. They know where I am right now, but if I leave, I won't have to go through that. If I leave right now and take my disciples with me, I won't have to go through that. Do you think that was a temptation? I certainly do. I certainly believe that Jesus wanted to get up and run. Because what did he say next? He said, "Will no one even stay awake with me? Will no one even pray with me? I am here in torment, and you're all asleep, and you're all doing your own thing. But nobody is here helping me. I'm in turmoil." But Jesus knew that he would have to go through with whatever it is that was necessary. And he went through it, just as Muhammad went through his time of temptation. He was in the cave. The angel came. He was afraid. He ran. Did he not? Fear is a destroyer. But God understands humans and gives you a second chance to do the right thing. Sometimes. But if you understand the situation, you will do the right thing the first time. Now, many of you are faced with decisions that are difficult. Some of you have none at this time, but they will come. And your decisions to do what is the right thing must be prayed about. You cannot just decide. that that is the right thing or the wrong thing, unless it's a last minute decision and you have to make up your mind right this second. But usually that's not the case. Usually you have to pray about what to do, what God's will is, not what your will is to escape the difficulties, but what God's will is to bring light to the world in an even greater way than you could possibly imagine. Many things cannot be seen ahead of time, but you know in your heart, if you have prayed about it, what is right and what is wrong, what is just good and what is better, what is safe for you and what is not. And you would say, why wouldn't I pick what is safe for me? That is the whole thing. I'm here to be joyous and happy, and so I get to make my decisions. Most of the time you do. And that's fine. But there are some decisions that must be prayed about, and some decisions that are not easy. And sometimes you have to take the hard road to bring about a greater blessing, to bring about the true will of God, to leave the fear behind and boldly go. If you cannot do that, how can you follow God? There are many times in history that God has stepped in and created a miracle so that someone will see the right direction to go. But he's not forcing them to go that direction. He could have allowed Jesus in the garden just to run. Run away. Don't be killed. He had that option, and he knew it. He didn't take it. Why? Because he knew what God wanted from him. And so he accepted it. Same with Muhammad. He got another chance to speak to the angel because he knew God wanted it. There are others in history that had different decisions to make. Some made good decisions, some didn't. But the will of God will come through because of the decisions that were made, and some difficult. Do not be the one that takes the easy road just for yourself. Pray about it and know what the will of God really is. Your decision versus God's decision. Your will versus God's will. I know it's a little bit strange that right now I would speak about these things, and it's a little bit more of a spiritual talk than you believe. You will enter into a time when the Spirit is in full charge of you. You will enter into a time when you must give over everything to the Spirit. What will that feel like? It feels different to different people because you are all different. You all understand God differently. You all believe in different ways about God. You believe He works in different ways. And you believe your way about who God is. And so when He takes over, it will be the way, or perhaps the way, you think He will. But some of you will be surprised because it will be in a way that you don't understand, but you will understand. It is a beautiful time for those who want to be in God's will, for those who want to listen to the love of God. Yes! He is with you. He knows you. He understands you. Of course he knows your fears, doubts, misconceptions, and all those things. But if you pray, he will straighten them out. If you pray, he will help you. If you pray, he will eliminate your fears and meditate. Some of you meditate. Many of you do, and that is a wonderful thing as well. Bring him into your meditation, your prayers, even talks. Today was a little bit more of a thought process. Do you know when you are doing God's will and when you are not? When you are doing your own will or not? Pray, my children, that all things will come to you in the right way. Blessed be to all of these.